So Peach is one of the most popular drag queens here in the Bay Area. We have been talking about for years the Terror Vault that I got a chance to experience this year. And you put on so many other productions. There I am going through my little glow-in-the-dark necklace. That was great fun. Joining us live in the studio to talk about what's coming up, the face behind the face, Joshua Grinnell. Great to always see you.
Oh, you too, Reggie. Thanks for having me.
Now, you may know that yesterday we had another member of drag San Francisco royalty on.
I do.
Juanita MORE was here to talk about her annual party, and she has a thing or two to say about drag queens who come on ABC7 not in drag.
Okay, does she? What did she have to say exactly?
She said they're lazy.
Okay, I would say that she's jealous.
Ooh.
Okay, I love Juanita, but I was offered the opportunity to come on and speak with you out of drag, and I thought, well, that's a great chance for me to do something I don't usually do and step out of my comfort zone. Which,
See?
Yeah. Has anyone ever seen her out of drag?
Oh.
Does she exist out of drag? I don't know.
Have we started a drag fight?
Do you know that Juanita came to Terror Vault in full drag?
Oh, yeah.
And went through that show in high heels. So I give her all credit. She is a legend, and she is a stronger queen than me.
See, that's how we make it full circle.
That's right,
so that we don't actually have a fist fight in the alley behind ABC7. Because she will be waiting for you outside.
Oh, no, I'm afraid of her.
In full drag.
Yeah, she's scary. She has a knife, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, she is a tenderloin girl, so she knows how to protect herself.
Exactly.
On to you.
Yes.
It's always great to see you. You're always involved in 1 million projects. Something that I didn't know until now was your connection to the western neighborhoods of San Francisco. Tell me about that origin story.
Yeah, so, for many, many years, my Midnight Mass live event was at the Bridge Theater, which is 3 blocks west of Masonic on Geary Boulevard. It's no longer a cinema, but for many years, I was both the manager and, as Peach is, the midnight movie hostess, and we did Midnight Mass there for 13 years.
Wow.
And,
which seems appropriate, that number.
Yes. And SF Gate did a big article about how crazy and raucous and wild and often illegal, it was, the shows that we did. And the Western Neighborhoods Project saw it, recognized that this had happened in the western neighborhood of the Inner Richmond District, and said, we want to create an event around this for our 25th birthday celebration, which is such an honor and so awesome,
That is cool that they're including you. And so this is going to be a live podcast?
Yes, so it's a big kind of fundraiser for them, a showy event that has a prom theme, so people are encouraged to dress up, and it's at the 4-Star Theater, a cinema that does still exist in the western neighborhoods. The 4-Star, the Balboa, we're lucky that we still have some of these old neighborhood movie theaters.
The Roxy.
The Roxy. Yeah, in the western neighborhood specifically. Because, that's what people consider to be often more sleepy. But the reality of it is there are incredible events going on at these cinemas, and this organization, highlights and celebrates them. So they're going to do a live podcast, and they're bringing Amanda Bartlett from SF Gate to join So she's from SF Gate, and Nicole Madal is from the Western Neighborhoods Project, and they're gonna interview me in full drag, Juanita. I will be there in full drag.
In a prom dress?
Not really.
Okay,
I'm more whenever we do prom themes, like whenever we did Carrie at Midnight Mass, I was Principal Christ. And then the show always ended. Actually, that's one of the things I think they want to talk about is when I set the bridge on fire. Now, this is all stuff I would never do now. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was young and punk and often intoxicated. And I thought, we'll have fire, on stage at the Bridge Theater.
It was a different time.
It was a very different time. So, there were trips to the hospital. There was a lot of...
There were trips to the hospital?
Oh, yes. We used to do, mother-daughter mud wrestling, on stage. Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Any Joan Crawford movie, we would have mother-daughter mud wrestling. So we're going to show photos and get into the history of all that. And it was a time of a sort of punk rock drag in San Francisco that, of course, I'm nostalgic for. But at the time, we didn't realize how special it was, and we're going to get into that.
That's interesting. Now, before we completely abandon punk rock drag, I still feel like you got your edge. When you go to this Terror Vault that they pull on every year, it's edgy. They're not lighting you on fire, but there's stuff that's going on in there
Yeah.
that would definitely, make some people shriek.
Yeah, I mean, I love putting on a show, whether it's Midnight Mass or Terror Vault, and telling a story, but also pushing people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're selling an experience. You're gonna go and you're gonna basically walk through a whole movie. In fact, we've been so happy with the way Terror Vault's been going that this spring we've invited writer and director Michael Phillis to come into Terror Vault, and in a few weeks he'll open Sunnydale Prom, which is an immersive giant Buffy experience at the Mint, utilizing our sets and spaces. And if you're a Buffy fan, you do not want to miss this.
Oh, that's cool. When does that start?
May 23rd.
Okay.
So it's coming up. Another prom theme.
That's coming up really soon, actually.
So it is a giant immersive Buffy experience. So not as scary or brutal as Terror Vault, but still you start at the prom and then you go and slay a bunch of vampires and then you end up at the Bronze where they have an all-night dance party.
You cannot get away from the prom.
Right, no.
Prom is circling you and everything that you're doing.
Yeah, it was traumatic, and I will always be processing it.
Yeah, well, you know what, that makes sense. So you can get tickets to see this podcast thing that you're doing?
Yes. So tickets are on sale at outsidelands.org.
That's the name of the podcast, by the way.
Yes, Outside Lands, which is the name of what the Western neighborhood, what Golden Gate Park used to be referred to as. So
and that's why the festival is called
I was going to say,
Outside
it doesn't come from the music festival.
Yeah.
It's
the other way around.
Exactly. So, and yeah, I think that, this is going to be a really fun, interesting conversation. And I promise to say and tell some stories that I've never been told before that probably would have gotten me in a lot of trouble. So,
do any of them involve a fight with Juanita MORE?
No, in fact, believe it or not, for all that punk rock drag stuff, Juanita, myself, the late, great Heclina, we spar, Sister Roma on stage. We love to tease each other, but it is completely an act because the reality of it is without those queens, without my friends, none of us would have succeeded the way we did. So I am very supportive of creative collaborators nurturing each other, and Juanita has been nothing but generous to me. So I must say I'm very lucky to have existed in the drag community that I do because we actually love each other and lift each other up.
I can tell.
Yeah.
And part of it is ribbing each other too.
Of course. I mean, that's part of what makes it safe. What's funny is, one of us might not like someone when we don't tease them. That's a secret.
That's the tell. And that's the tea.
Yeah.
Joshua, always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Go see this outsidelands.org situation, and we'll be right back.